I don't remember the script for this part, but I think we learned something about the little gnomes that live inside dry herb devices. They actually appreciate it if you let them out every once in a while. I know it seems weird. A lot of people would just be like, oh, you know, they came with the device. Like, I'm going to keep my gnome inside of the vaporizer for as long as I can. And that's fine, that's cool. But if you let them out and play, especially if you have two different dry herb vaporizers, and you let both the elves or the gnomes come out and like interact with each other, you'll start to gain new features for the other vaporizer that, you know, the other one had. And that's a really interesting prospect, and we can just cut that off right there. What's up, Ents? It's Will back from BC Smoke Shop, and today I want to take some time to bring you through the wonderful world of dry herb vaporizers. Because these things have been out for probably 20 or 30 years at this point, but for the majority of their life, they've honestly sucked. Poor material choice and kind of just first-gen technology problems led them to have really bad vapor quality and production. You wouldn't really get high on them, they wouldn't really produce much of anything, and so that turned a lot of people off of dry herbs. But I'm really pleased to say that in the past couple of years, a lot of products have come out that basically make it possible for you to completely switch your setup from joints and bongs and jongs into dry herb vaporizer. So let's take a look at the kind of pros and cons, and I'll give you some tips to get the most out of your bud when you're dry herb vaping. So, a dry herb vaporizer. It's basically a little metal or ceramic oven, kind of like ones that are in these guys in front of me. And basically what it does is it just heats up the plant matter to the boiling point of THC, which is about 157 degrees Celsius. Very smart. And rather than the traditional way of combustion, where it just heats it up until it combusts, releasing THC and lots of not so great particulates that get in your lungs, make you cough, maybe give you cancer, that kind of stuff. So that's why I would say it's much better in regards to your health. It's also much less noisy when I'm talking about smell. So if you're living in an apartment, or maybe if you're living in Singapore or something like that, you're gonna notice it has much more of like a kind of hot burnt popcorn taste or smell almost, rather than the very loud, noisy smell that comes off of combusted weed. So for that reason, they're, you know, kind of better in every sense. You've got less noise, smell, less bad shit in your lungs, less cancer, it's good. And they're also a lot more efficient. In comparison to, you know, smoking a joint, a lot of times when you're smoking, you look super cool, but you're letting all this weed just waft away in the air. Makes you look dope, but you're wasting weed. So dry herb vaporizers don't have that problem, and for that reason you're gonna notice weed lasting quite a bit longer in there, and that's a good thing. If you're a true reduce, reuse, recycle West Coast hippie like myself, then you might even consider eating the decarboxylated weed, which sounds kind of gross, and it kind of is. But if you're in a pinch, this stuff actually works like a charm. You can use it to make these edibles called firecrackers, which are deceivingly potent. And if you wanna, you know, learn how to do those and watch me get way too high, then let me know in the comments. I might have to show you guys how to make them. I did have some AVB, some already vape bud that I brought in here that I wanted to show you guys. So to start it off, we just have weed. This is straight bud from Trudeau's Garden bud. You know what I'm talking about? And it's green, it smells good, it's ready to go into an oven. Next up, this would be half AVB or like half vape bud. And this stuff is considerably darker in texture and color, and it's definitely a lot drier. This has probably been through one oven session, and it looks brown, but there's still a lot of THC in it, so it'd be perfect for making, you know, firecrackers, edibles like that. Or if you're gross, just munching it up like a bag of granola. And finally, we have garbage. Don't use this stuff. If it's this dark brown, this had been vaped at around like 220 degrees Celsius for 2 sessions or so. And because of that, it's basically devoid of THC. There's no use of it, just throw it out, use it for fertilizer. I don't know, I'm really bad at recycling, but figure it out. It's done for ingestion. We know quite a bit about dry herb vapor production at this point, but there's still one question lingering in the air. And that's, what the hell are we all still doing smoking weed? If it's better for your health, more discreet, and more efficient to use a dry herb vaporizer, then why do I still go home every night and take big fat rips from my John? You know, I could just sit inside the comfort of my bed, puffing away on my vape, but no, I make the walk all the way outside just so I can channel my inner Cheech and Chong. And that's where these claims seem to not really align with reality. You see, a lot of people, myself included, find that weed's not that expensive, and I'm kind of okay with not getting every last crumb and drop out of the stuff that I buy. Additionally, and this applies to a lot of older people, the vapor that it produces, especially right out of the hot oven, can actually be pretty offensive to a lot of people's lungs. It produces a much kind of drier cough. It's holistically better for you, 100%, there's no doubt about that. But a lot of people still find that they get a much kind of grosser cough from it, and that's a big turnoff. And finally, a lot of people, particularly older people as well, have been smoking grass for so damn long that they can't even smell it anymore. And although it might be psychological, they find that they can't get high off of it. And you know, who's to blame them? If you've been smoking bongs every single day of your life for the last 30 years, a little device like this, it might not do it for you. But, you know, if you don't remember what the AOL dial-up tone sounds like, that probably doesn't apply to you. So it's just good to be conscious when you're talking about dry herbs to older people. Lots of people find dry herbs to be a literal lifesaver for them, and we especially recommend it to older people to kind of increase your quality of life and quality of those lungs. Keep those lungs nice and safe. But the most important thing is to not take claims like, it's more efficient, it'll change your life, it'll make it better, blah, blah, blah. Don't take them at face value. Make sure you're doing your own research, and you'll be a lot more satisfied with the purchase that you make. So thanks for watching. Let us know if you like these kind of longer informational type videos. It's actually not long, it's a pretty short video, but long in my head. I'm tortured in here. Things just keep on moving around. But it's Will from BC Smoke Shop. Make sure you check out our website, bcsmokeshop.ca, because we have a whole section on dry herb vapes and their accessories. And I'll catch you in the next one. It's Will signing off. Sign off. Sign off. Pick up a bong and take it home with you.